It may still be July, but at least in the US, it is time to start thinking about back-to-school designs for your print-on-demand shop. It's going to be here before you know it, and today we're going to talk about a promotion that Printify is running this year from August 1st through September 15th, offering some discounts on back-to-school related products. We have some samples here to look at, then we'll talk about back-to-school niche ideas, as well as promotions that you can run in your own Etsy shop. So stick around and let's get your print-on-demand shop ready for school. Before we get started, I do want to mention that Printify is the sponsor of this video, and they provided these samples so that we could review them and talk about their back-to-school promotion. All right, so school is actually the source of a lot of different niches and sub-niches if you sell print on demand. And the back-to-school time of year is actually a great sales opportunity because it kind of comes at a time when we're in between other major holidays or gift-giving events. So if you think about the timing, we just came off of the Mother's Day, Father's Day season. We're in the middle, the peak of summertime. It's actually mid-July right now. People pretty much slow down on what they're buying online, especially as far as gifts go. Of course, people have birthdays all year, but the major gift-giving holidays, we just passed a couple, and it's gonna be a while before we really get to the major fourth quarter gift season. And so in between that, now we have the time for back to school. It's a great time when you don't really have a lot of focus being placed on any one specific niche necessarily to go ahead and start building your catalog of back to school designs. And back to school has some good opportunity because there are so many potential customers. Some people, you may only think of the students, the children, when it comes to back to school with t-shirt designs like this one that we'll look at in a second. But there are also the teachers and the parents to think about. We'll get into niches later. Let's start by doing a quick review of 3 different product samples we have from Printify. So the first one is going to be the most familiar. Many of you, if you do sell youth size or child size items in your print-on-demand shop, this is the Gildan Heavy Cotton or 5000 youth size tee. And this one is size extra small, so it's almost down to the size of a toddler, the largest toddler size t-shirt. And this is one of the items that's part of the Printify back to school promotion that starts on August 1st. So there is a discount on these from Swift POD. It's not from all print providers. It's just from Swift POD for this particular item. But I got this one in a really nice bright color, and I used a design from Creative Fabrica, which is another graphic service site that I use for my print-on-demand shop. They have a ton of fonts also, by the way. So it's a subscription service. They have deals sometimes where I actually recently got a deal for, I think it was $55 for an entire year of unlimited downloads. And they have a lot of designs that you can use for print on demand. They have they have the full print on demand commercial rights, so you don't have to worry about any of the licensing. And so this was a great example of a design that is perfect for the first day of school. It's also a perfect design for you to edit and adjust to multiple sub niches within this first day of school type niche. And I think the print quality, as usual with my experience with Swift POD, the print quality came out really nice. And so this particular item presents a nice opportunity as far as targeting the kids, the students, with some back to school designs. The next item that we have is a drawstring bag from Catalyst Fabric Solutions. It's actually not a print provider that I was familiar with. I don't think I've sold anything from this print provider before. So this was the first time I have seen a product from them or their print quality. And I have to say I'm impressed with the print quality of this. This is a retro 80s, 90s pattern that I got from Vexels. The bag itself is pretty nice quality. I think the pricing works out so that you can be pretty competitive with the price of these. But this is the kind of bag where you just kind of cinch up the top and then throw these over your shoulders. It's not meant to carry a lot of really heavy stuff. So if, it's not necessarily a backpack replacement because you're not gonna carry around tons of books in this. Maybe if they just, need something to carry their gym clothes in for gym class, in addition to their backpack, these types of bags can be nice. So there's a lot of different niche opportunities that honestly don't just have to do with back to school. This particular product is definitely multi-purpose. The last sample we have to look at is a school classic, and that is the lunch box. Well, I guess lunch bag. This one's not a box, but this is from MWW On Demand, a company that I am very familiar with. They do a lot of all over print products. I sell their all over print sweatshirts, their leggings, and a few of their little, the tote bags. I had never sold the lunch bags before, so this was also a first for me in terms of the product. Typical MWW quality on the print. I do think the print came out nice. Now the price on this is maybe a little bit higher than you would expect when you first look at it, and we'll see that in just a second. It is discounted for the back to school promotion, but I do want to point out a couple of features that I think make it worth the price. So first of all, the interior has this reflective lining that is intended to help regulate temperature. And then towards the bottom, actually maybe about a third of the way down the bag, all the way down around the bottom, there's also in between the layers, there is some foam insulation as well. So it makes it a little bit more sturdy and also adds extra insulation in there. So it is not just a fabric bag with no insulation. But then one really cool feature is that when you roll this bag up, you get to here, and then there are magnets. Now to test this, I'm gonna put this mug that I had sitting around inside the bag. The magnets don't seem to be letting go, so this seems pretty good. Now I can't promise, with a lot more heavy stuff in there, I can't promise that it will never pop open, but I was shaking that pretty hard and it didn't give out, so I say these magnets are pretty good at keeping the bag closed, which is a nice feature. All right, we're gonna switch over to the computer now and we'll talk about the promotion, the discounts, and the pricing on these items. All right, let's begin with the Printify Back to School promotion sale that they're running. It runs from August 1st to September 15th. There's the dates there. I will put a link in the description to this page so you can find it. They most likely also emailed you if you're already a Printify merchant or seller, so you probably have this in your email. So the sale is running during the time period when we expect to get the highest sales volume. Now, you will get some back to school design niche sales in late July as well, because in the US, there are some states where schools actually start back up in August. And so you'll have parents especially shopping back to school towards the end of the month of July as well. But the discounted prices for the products that we're going to talk about here run August 1st to September 15th, 2022. And they have a lot more products that are part of this promotion than just the 3 samples we looked at earlier. So the polyester lunch bag, the sale price, if you have Printify Premium, is $13.58. By the way, if you don't have Printify Premium and you're interested in testing it out, you can get 30 days of premium for free if you use the coupon code that's in the description, POD Insights, on your payments page in your Printify account. I don't get anything for that. It's just an offer for POD Insights viewers, and it's good through the end of this year. So if you want to try out premium and get the lower pricing for 30 days without having to pay anything, check out that coupon code. So of course, you want to base your pricing. If this is, say, the first time you're going to add this lunch bag to your store, you want to base your pricing on the regular price, not the sale price. And the regular price for Printify Premium is $15.09. $5.99 is the shipping cost, so we're going to get a total cost of $21.08. We'll put that in our calculator, and then we'll look at our total selling price that we need. And let's just take a shot here and start at 30 and see what number that is. That's a 20% profit margin. So if we go with $35 total out the door price for the lunch bag, then we are hitting right at that 30% profit margin, which is $10. Keep in mind that's the total price you want. So if you want to charge for shipping, then you could back this down to around $30, say $29.99, and then have a $5 shipping charge, and you'll be coming in right around that 29% profit margin. As part of the sale, these are 10% off. So you could absolutely just offer your customers a 10% off coupon code or sale for any of the items that you want to include in your back to school sale. You can set that up any way that you want. It can just be a store-wide sale for back to school for a certain set time. You can even run this as an email marketing type of promotion where, if you have an email list from a service like Aweber, which is an Etsy partner, and you have a list of email subscribers, you can create a coupon code just for them, like a back to school coupon code for 10 or 15% off, and then set up an email campaign to send out a few emails letting them know that they can use this coupon code for back to school items. You can promote a coupon on social media. There's just a lot of different ways you can run your own promotion in your Etsy shop to go along with these sale prices. Now, the Drawstring Bag from Catalyst Fabric Solutions is 20% off, bringing that Printify Premium price during this promotion down to $6.48. So that's a nice discount, and the starting price of these before that promotion is actually already pretty attractive. Printify Premium price of $8.10, shipping at $4.99. So we're talking $13.09 as a total base cost that we would want to set our pricing based on before that promotion was included. So if we went with, say, a desired total price of $22.99, we'd be looking at a 32% profit margin, $7 per. So that's a pretty good target. You could easily charge, say, $3 for shipping and get that down to like $18.99. And then if you factor in that you could be giving your customer, say, a 15% off sale during this August 1st to September 15th period, that leaves a little bit of room in there for you to even make a little bit of extra profit margin and be very competitive on those drawstring bags during that time. All right, let's talk timing and a few ideas for niches that have a lot of sub-niching opportunities. First, let me just point something out. Because back to school is a really specific time of year with a shopping season, when you do research for potential, specific niches, it can seem a little bit odd when you do your keyword research ahead of time, because it could be a little bit hard to predict. If you start looking at things that maybe are grade specific, I'm now in Sales Samurai in the actual site, like first day of kindergarten shirt, first day of school t-shirt, it's showing search volume for those phrases that is pretty low, less than 100 per month right now. And a bunch of them that are more specific are showing pretty low search volume. And that could simply be because that search volume has not ramped up just yet. It is mid-July. It's July 16th right now. So as we get close to the end of July, some of these more specific searches will likely start to peak a little bit more. But you can use some tools like Google Trends to help with some of that timing. For example, the general term first day of school shirt, if you look back at the last 5 years, there are obvious peaks for when people search for that online. And because it's so much lower for the entire rest of the year, that means if you go to a tool like Sales Samurai right now, some of these more specific back to school niches are not going to look like they have really high search volume, but it's because there's a kind of a narrow window for when they're really popular. Now, as I started going through some of these, some ideas started to come forward, and so I just have a couple of other samples for you to kind of get the ball rolling. One of the great things about back to school, as I mentioned earlier, is it's not just back to school, like one niche. It is, I'm going to preschool for the first time. I'm going to first grade for the first time, second grade, third grade. And for your older students, there's a whole niche for last first day of school because they're in their senior year. So it's the last time they have a first day of school. So there are designs just for that too. Then there are designs for parents, proud parent of a preschooler, proud parent of a second grader. Then there are designs for the teachers, and some of them are actually fairly specific. Now, when it comes to possible design ideas for that whole first time going into a certain grade, there are lots of opportunities here. And it all comes down to basically the expression that you use. So instead of just focusing on first day of kindergarten, there are different ways to say that, different expressions. And here's an example. This expression is ready to crush kindergarten. And so this is a popular one because there are a lot of kids out there that like things like dinosaurs and monster trucks, and this idea of I'm going to crush kindergarten works really well with a lot of graphics that have to do with dinosaurs or monster trucks or things like that. This is an opportunity because there are, again, 2,600 search results. So it's not 50,000, 100,000 search results here. And this one actually has Ready to Crush Kindergarten by itself already has 219 monthly searches according to Sales Samurai. And one other thing I want to comment on is just your approach here. If you wanted to try and enter this niche, this Ready to Crush Kindergarten, Ready to Crush first grade, second grade, you could just get this idea of, I'll just create a design with a dinosaur in it and make cool looking text that says I'm ready to crush kindergarten. But that's exactly what the competition has done here, and a lot of it. And a lot of them just look the same. There's only a couple here that kind of stand out as being not just a dinosaur with the colorful text. So if you want to stand out, basically just pay attention to what's not there. I don't see a lot that are only featuring a monster truck. Here's one, for example, that's all white text, it's not colorful. But what if you've got kids that they love monster trucks and they don't really care so much about dinosaurs? I see a little bit of a potential gap, at least on page 1, where maybe my design will be all about a monster truck. Or maybe I'll just go in a totally different direction and think of something else that fits with the expression and try to fill a gap. That's always a good idea, to think that way, to see if you can break into a niche by filling a gap rather than by making something similar. All right, so that'll do it for this video. So get out there and start planning your back to school designs now. Get those listings created so that you can start running your back to school promotions along with the Printify back to school sale. I hope you have a great back to school sales season and it fills some of that gap time before we get to the big sales time in the fourth quarter. If you found this information helpful, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe to the POD Insights channel if you have not already. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.